This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. After a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Houston Texans and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Two clubs here, each looking to rebound from a Week 1 loss as we're underway on EA Sports. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Leading them out is their quarterback, the former 12th overall pick. Some refer to him as the natural, Deshaun Watson.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
The first carry here for Ty Montgomery. A strong running. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. The numbers on the ground for Montgomery in last week's affair. 18 carries, 59 yards.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football. Give it to him early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on.
And that'll be incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
On 1st down, it's Watson. That'll be caught over the middle by Moss. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson throwing the out route incomplete. That's Fuller. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a 1st down. Looked like man coverage, able to read it there on the outside for the completion. That'll be something to track as the game goes along here.
It certainly will, and there's so many different ways that they will try to figure out whether they're in man or zone. Sometimes you'll run a guy in motion to see if someone runs with him. Other times you'll empty out the backfield, spread it out, and see if everyone comes out and matches up. In any event, anytime you see man coverage, you tell your guys you've got to win those matchups because if you do, you'll get the football and probably for a nice game. When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Brandon Coleman, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just get
a little flag down. He goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out.
Offense.
So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Third and long here for Rosen. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. Fourth down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent game. Now they're in fourth and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker.
Every time I see a coach challenge a spot, that makes me a little bit nervous for that coach. Those are very difficult to get overturned.
Well, the biggest reason, correct me if I'm wrong, is just technology. A lot of times you just don't have the angle.
Yeah, I think all the coaches, when they want to challenge that type of a play, they want to put the magnets or the things, the sensors in the ball to show exactly where it is. But right now, it's all about us humans.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Back 22! Back!
On 2nd down, Montgomery. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
They go play action here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. From the gun, here's Watson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Give him 9 on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Give him 3 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. On 2nd down, Johnson. And he's going to be unable to get upfield as they take him down at the 21-yard line. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player, as well as a physical specimen.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've hit the end of quarter. They've got a 3rd down and a yard to start things out. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
They had yet to run the ball at all on this drive, but 3rd and short definitely was a great time to dial one up.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. Rosen on 1st and 10. On the left side, it's McDonald. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for him.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They go play action. It's Rosen rolling to his right. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. On 2nd down, here's Watson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. Oh, the spin. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
It's important to do, especially early in the... Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down. I know where we're headed on this. Terrific catch, gets his feet down, sets up a 4th down and short situation. I bet we're wondering, why didn't he get to the first down marker running his route? Am I correct?
You got to know where the marker is, right?
Got to figure it out. I know every receiver is taught that. Sometimes circumstances change it. At least they have an opportunity to make a decision with not much yardage to go.
And now out come the Steelers. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards that time, but a Pittsburgh first.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his 2nd week of the regular season. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Throw left side complete. It's James. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Johnson on the counter. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A gain of 10, good for a Steeler 1st down.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And he overshot. Shot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
20. He finds Beckham complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. They'll look to throw on first down to Josh Rosen. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL.
We now proceed to the start of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Josh Rosen and company getting set for their next possession. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
Yeah, baby! Yeah! Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move. Hurry up, here we go!
From the gun, it's Rosen. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
And now on the the pitch. The ball's loose. And the Texans scoop it. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
Extra point attempt to follow here. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And in fact, we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage will be found.
On second down, here's Rosen. On the catch, it's Duke Johnson. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
But it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game. And I'm
got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 42 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
But you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Now Rosen looking to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now Montgomery, and he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with third down and just a yard to go.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On third down, they go Montgomery. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I like his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st and 10, Watson. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the field. It's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the 4th. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Out of the gun, Watson. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. T.J. Watt in on the tackle. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. A shotgun snap for Watson. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
That'll go in the books as just a 16-yard punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Or has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Throwing again is Watson. And this will be incomplete.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass. And he fins him up, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Ryan Shazier able to drop it for a loss of 12, and it'll be 4th down.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
The Texans send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Josh Rosen and company getting set for their next possession. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only 1 score down.
Yeah, true. We could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. And that's caught inside the 30. It's a big play there for the Steelers. 42 yards. Well, last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's 4th.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. And he finds McDonald. And he will have the 1st down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
This will be caught at about the 5. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. In for the score. And the Steelers are within a 2-point conversion of tying this game.
So they got the touchdown they needed to cut this to 2, but now they've got to get back to the huddle. No celebration time. Got to figure out what they're going to do on the 2-point conversion.
So a big play now as the Steelers will go for 2. They're going to try and run for it. And he will get into the end zone for 2. And this game now tied here in the 4th. Still time to work with on the clock, but they wanted the tie now, and they got it.
And I love their aggressiveness. Go ahead and get it done. Get the game tied. Now your team has the momentum, and you're staring across the field saying, let's see if you can match us.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. Second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Here's Watson now on 2nd down. High throw, but he makes the catch. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
Forget height and catch radius. When you run the fade really well, run down the defender, kind of take him a little bit towards the middle of the field, and then fade to the sideline and give your quarterback some space, it can be executed that well, just as we saw.
So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. First down, here's the run to Montgomery. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. It's hurry-up mode time for the Texans, hustling up to the line. Watson now to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. Watson. This is Montgomery with a grab over the middle. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Partner, you got to like what they're doing right there. Little by little, they're getting closer. Another good pickup.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Now Watson. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Watson trying to get his guys moving. Now it's Watson. Shakes off the sack. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Carter. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line.
Defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
And the penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still 3rd and long. Operating from the gun. Watson. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. The Texans send the punter out as he's on for the 5th time here today.
So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. Throwing now is Rosen. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Texans say they have it. They do.
I'm fairly sure that there's no good time to cough up the football. But this couldn't be much worse, could it?
No.
This situation, this yard line, no chance.
They set it on a T-form. They're already in field goal range here late in the 4th now.
Yeah, warm up the kicker. Just make sure they take care of the ball now. They've got a chance to put this thing away.
And now out comes Houston. They are already in field goal range. Let's see how they want to play this, Charles.
And I have a feeling I know how they want to play this already. Run the football to the hash mark that works best for their kicker. They already have the field goal unit lined up, ready to run out there and go get it done. They've practiced this. They understand the situation. And with that amount of time, they can do it.
Let's see how they carry it over into the game. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. And his kick is good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. So he's able to come through in a hostile environment, and you'd have to imagine that's the game winner.
Yeah, how about that? And the way that this game's gone, you think they really wanted to get to overtime and take their chances there? They wanted to get this thing done. When you're the visitor, you don't want to play into overtime. You want to knock it down, get it done, and go home.
They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Houston, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll have another road date next week with the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for